What's up, Facebook? How we doing? What's going on? I'm using my selfie stick here today. Check this out. Woo! What's going on? As you can see, the weather is looking so nice here. Check it out. We're out on the pool. I just love coming out here doing these calls. But anyway, hope you're doing good. Hope everything is doing awesome. I just got off a awesome wake-up call with my buds over at My Lead System Pro. Had over 200 people on the call. Fun stuff. I love getting on there, sharing value. It's just an amazing time. But listen, I want to talk to you about the things that you really need in order to succeed. And you really need this if you want to get where you want to go. And I think it's very, very important that you understand this. And you know, everybody's got a goal. We all got a dream, a desire, something we're shooting for. We've all got that. We're all there for a reason. We all have the idea of where we want to be. But there's really two things that are going to help you get to where you want to go. Number one, you've got to have a plan, and a plan is something that it's an absolute must. You know, there's so many people nowadays that literally don't have a plan. They don't have, you know, something in place that kind of directs and shows them which way to go. And it's one of those things that are just crucial to you getting, you know, to the end goal. For instance, think about this. If I was traveling from New York to California and I didn't map it out, would that affect, I'm trying to get this thing holding here, would that affect, you know, my outcome? Would it affect in terms of the time that, you know, I get to my destination? No question about it. You know, I'll give you a couple examples, at least one example. A few years ago, actually many, like 14, 15 years ago, I was living in Columbus, Ohio, and I used to live there. I lived there for about 3 years, and I was living in Columbus, Ohio, and at that time, I had made the decision that I was going to move to California. And when I had made that decision, I sat down and I started to map out my trip. You know, I made the decision, and about 3 months later, after, you know, getting out of my apartment lease, all that stuff, I made the decision to go and move to California. So I was driving. I had a truck. I had a Ford F-150. I love that truck, man. I miss it. I had a Ford F-150. And so I sat down and I got out my trusty Atlas. Didn't have really GPSs at the time. This is like 2002. So GPSs weren't like they weren't as prevalent as they are today. You just download an app and you're ready to go. But so I mapped it out. I got my road atlas and I mapped out every single stop that I was going to make. I decided when I left Columbus I would travel to, and I forget the city, but I traveled for 8 hours on the road, and I had planned that I would stop in this city and I would get a hotel and stay the night. And I had planned to do the trip over 5 days. And part of the reason is what's interesting is driving by myself, I wanted to make sure that I gave myself the rest that I needed. And I wanted to, you know, think it through in terms of, you know, where I was going to go and where I was going to be. So I actually planned it out. So I knew I would drive 8 hours. And then I found a hotel in that area online. And I called and set a reservation at that hotel. And then I said, okay, for day 2, I'm going to go from here to here. It's about another 8 to 10 hours of driving. So I did the same thing. I found the city where I was going to drive to, and then I called and found a hotel, got a room, reserved a room. So I drove the next day for 10 hours, stayed, and then I did the same thing for the 3rd and the 4th day. And then the 5th day, I ended up planning to be in California at noon. Well, I actually kind of miscalculated and actually got there much sooner than I had planned. The point being is that I had a plan in place, and there was never a question of where I needed to go and what I needed to do to get to my destination. How much time do we spend planning our vacations? Thinking through the things we want to do, the fun we want to have. But yet most people won't sit down and actually plan out their life. They won't sit down and actually plan out their business of where they want to go and what they want to do, and where they want to be. We spend more time planning like the insignificant things, and I'm not saying vacation is not important. I'm not saying these trips, family times, things like that are not important, but that's just one event in the span of your entire life. Why not sit down and figure out some of the things that you want to accomplish and where you want to go and what you want to do? And, it's not that hard, just to think about it. And then the second part of that, so we know that you've got to plan, put your plan together. And then what's the second part of it? You've actually got to execute it. This is where most people fall short. Number one, most people don't plan. And number two, most people don't execute faithfully. So what do you're hitting? You got the two main points that mean the most, but yet most people don't do either of them. And the execution can't be sporadic. The execution has to be consistent. If there is one thing I consistently say almost every single day, it's that you got to do it consistently. Consistent. I consistently say you got to be consistent because that is what it takes. That's just what it takes. It takes doing it on a regular basis. And the thing that gets people the most, I think, is in the beginning, it's more difficult in the beginning. And it's more difficult in the beginning because you don't have momentum yet. You don't have you don't have things primed yet. You don't have it moving yet. And that's where you really need to put some focus is it's going to take some extra effort in the beginning to get things going. And if you can understand that, if you can put that in place and really drive hard in the beginning, that'll set you up for a much easier ride later on. Like right now in my business, I can say I don't have to work as hard as I did in the beginning. Depending on where I want to go and where I'm going and what I've got going on in my business, I don't have to work as hard. But in the beginning, I worked my tail off, to build a name for myself, to build a reputation. And it just meant getting out there and producing some results. And it was hard at the beginning. But now I know what to do. I know the principle. I can believe it. It's much easier to believe because, it's at the beginning, that's just the way it is. A thing at the beginning is always harder. It's a great Bible verse too, I believe. But point being is that at the beginning, something is always more difficult than it is once you get the momentum going. So those are the two main key points I wanted to share with you. And I also want to point out to you that tonight, our rescheduled 90-day game plan with my Video Marketing Insiders Club is tonight. Now, I'm going to be actually talking about these 2 points. I'm going to be talking to you about, number one, having a simple plan for 90 days, and number two, being able to actually go out and execute that plan and be consistent with it. And I believe that what I share tonight is going to help a lot of people in the next 90 days and beyond. Because what I'm going to share with you tonight is actually so easy, but it takes the consistent actions to go do. And that is what's most important. That is what's most important. So I'm going to give you the plan, but then I'm going to give you the execution of that plan and how you can go out and do it. And I'm actually working on putting together a tracker for you so that you can download this tracker and you can use it to every day go in and check off. Did I do this? Did I do that? Did I do this? And it's going to be a very simple tracker. Okay? But if you're not signed up for my Video Marketing Insiders Club, dude, get signed up. I mean, it's $1 for the first 14 days, and right now it's $29 a month. I am getting ready to bump it up. It's going to go up. The price is going to go up. Right now, we're pushing 300 members. I'm going to take on probably another 70 members or so at $29 a month, and it's going up. So the point is, get in. I mean, every single month I am sharing stuff that I learn. I've got some really awesome guest trainers that I want to bring in. I'm just working out scheduling, things like that. But this is very, very exclusive, and I've got a very, very awesome announcement tonight that I want to make for my Video Marketing Insiders Club members that I'm working on with a developer. And I'm only sharing it with my Video Marketing Insiders Club members. Only them. These guys are my insiders. They're the ones that get the first crack at knowing what's going on. I have 2 developers right now working on tools for you to use in video marketing, and they are freaking awesome. I am so pumped. I'm so excited. I really think this is going to be a really fun time. So if you're not a part of it, hop on. $1 for the first 14 days, and then $29 a month. And I'm going to give you, continuing training every month, specifically on video marketing, but it's also going to be other marketing strategies as well that really help augment. And every month we also do a Q&A where we actually do live coaching, and it's a lot of fun. So anyway, guys, I hope to see you tonight. Once you get signed up, if you're not signed up already, look in the description of this video, or go to markharbert.com/VMI, markharbert.com/VMI, and which is Video Marketing Insider. Come on over, get signed up. We'll see you tonight. Once you log into the membership area, there is a link there that you can register, and you'll be able to log in. Once you get into the membership site, it's in there. So the link again, look in the description of this video, markharbert.com/VMI. All right? And that's where you go to get registered, get signed up as a Video Marketing Insider member, and then the link is inside on the homepage. All right? I appreciate you guys. Love you. We'll see you here tomorrow at noon. I'm going to have some really cool stuff for you, and super fun. So appreciate you. Love you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.